The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. Introduction. The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard is a powerful spiritual guide that teaches readers how their thoughts and inner awareness shape the world around them. Neville emphasizes that the key to changing your outer reality lies within your inner world. He believes that our imagination, combined with belief and feeling, can create anything we desire. This book is not about hard work in the physical world, but rather about mastering the mind and learning to live from the end, from the feeling that what we want is already ours. Goddard encourages readers to understand the power of their consciousness and become more aware of how their self-image, beliefs, and assumptions direct their lives. Through this awareness, we can live more joyfully, purposefully, and successfully. Chapter 1, I Am. In this chapter, Neville begins with the foundational truth. Your consciousness is the only reality. When you say I am, you refer to your authentic self, the awareness that never changes within you. Everything you experience in life is a reflection of how you identify yourself. If you say I am poor or I am weak, those beliefs become your reality. But your outer world changes if you say I am rich or I am strong and genuinely feel it. He wants us to understand that we must not attach our I am to anything negative because we give life to it the moment we do. Instead, we should use I am to claim what we desire to experience. Chapter 2, Consciousness. Here, Goddard explains that your consciousness is what shapes your life. Everything you are aware of and feel deeply becomes real in your life. He compares life to a mirror. It reflects what is happening inside you. If you want to change your life, don't try to change the world directly. Instead, change what you are consciously being. Your world will mirror those states if you are conscious of being healthy, kind, and prosperous. He teaches that the world is not happening to you but through you, based on your inner state of being. Chapter 3, Power of Assumption. Neville introduces one of his most important teachings in this chapter, the power of assumption. Whatever you assume to be true, whether good or bad, will become your reality if you persist in that assumption. Your assumptions create your experience. So, if you assume success, you will attract opportunities and people that lead to success. If you presume failure, the same rule applies. The key is to take the feeling of your wish fulfilled. That means you must now feel what you would feel if your desire were genuine. The more you live in that feeling, the faster your outer world shifts to match it. Chapter 4, Desire. Desire, according to Goddard, is not something to be ashamed of. He teaches that desire is a sign from your deeper self, showing you what is possible for you. If you feel a strong desire, it's already yours on some level. Your higher self is calling you toward that experience. Desire is not something outside of you. It's something already alive in you. He explains that when you feel a genuine desire, you should not question whether it can happen, but instead, begin to assume the feeling it already has. Your job is to imagine the desire fulfilled and live from that end. Chapter 5, The Truth That Sets You Free. Neville talks about truth not as facts in the outside world, but as inner truths that align with your desired reality. He says the truth that sets you free is the knowledge that your inner state shapes your world. If you're unhappy or struggling, you must stop blaming the outside and look at the beliefs and assumptions you hold within. To be free, you must accept that you can change your life by changing how you see yourself. Freedom comes when you realize you're not a victim of circumstances. You're their creator. Chapter 6, Attention. Attention is energy, and where you place your attention is what grows in your life. If you constantly think about problems, fears, or lack, you give power to those things. But if you focus on success, peace, or love, you begin to experience more. Neville teaches us to train our minds to focus only on what we want to grow. Don't dwell on what you don't want. The more you focus on your desired state, the stronger and faster it becomes your reality. Chapter 7, Attitude. Neville explains that your attitude toward life determines what life gives you in return. Your attitude is the total of your beliefs, feelings, and reactions to the world. If your attitude is gratitude, faith, and expectation of good, then your experiences will reflect that positivity. On the other hand, if your attitude is filled with doubt, fear, or negativity, those feelings will shape your world. He encourages us to observe our mental attitude and consciously improve it. Like a gardener removes weeds, we must remove the weeds of negative thoughts and plant seeds of joy, peace, and success. Chapter 8. Renunciation. According to Neville, renunciation is not about giving up the things you love. It's about giving up the thoughts and beliefs that block you from experiencing your desired life. To create a new reality, you must let go of the old one. That means renouncing negative self-images, limiting beliefs, and feelings of unworthiness. If you want to become something new, you must stop identifying with the old version of yourself. For example, to become confident, you must renounce the identity of being shy or insecure. It's not about forcing change, it's about dropping what no longer serves you and accepting a new image of yourself. Chapter 9. Preparing your place. Neville teaches that before anything appears in your outer world, it must be prepared in your inner world. This preparation happens in your imagination. You must mentally and emotionally create a space for your desire to live. Like someone preparing a nursery before a baby is born, you must prepare your mind and heart for your desired new experience. Imagine it, feel the joy of having it, and let that feeling live in you. By doing this, you're making a space for it in your consciousness, and soon, it must appear in your reality. Chapter 10. Creation. In this chapter, Neville shares that creation is already finished. Everything you could ever want or imagine already exists in the spiritual realm. Your job is not to create something new, but to become aware of what already is. When you assume a state of being, you select it from the infinite possibilities. It's like tuning into a radio station. You don't create the station, you tune into it. Likewise, you don't create success, love, or health. You align your awareness with that state, which appears in your life. Chapter 11. Interference. Many people delay their success by constantly interfering with the process. They imagine their desire, but then doubt it, worry about it, or keep checking if it's working. Neville warns that this mental interference breaks the process of manifestation. You must trust the unseen. Just like a seed needs time to grow underground before it becomes a plant, your desires need time to succeed in the unseen world before they become visible. The best way to support the process is to stay calm, faithful, and consistent in assuming it is already done. Chapter 12. Subjective control. Subjective control means taking control of your inner world, your thoughts, imagination, and emotions. You can't always control what happens outside, but you can always control how you react and think. Neville teaches that when you gain control over your inner world, your outer world must reflect it. You become like a leaf in the wind if you allow yourself to be carried away by emotions, fears, and outside events. But when you control your inner state, you become the master of your life. Meditation, visualization, and conscious thinking help develop this inner control. Chapter 13. Acceptance. To receive anything in life, you must first accept it in your mind. Many people block their desires because they don't believe they deserve them. Neville emphasizes that acceptance is not just a thought, it's an emotional and spiritual embrace. You must fully accept your desired state as if it is already yours. This includes accepting the joy, peace, and responsibility that come with it. If you want to be wealthy, you must accept the mindset of a rich person. If you wish to love, you must accept the feeling of being loved. Only when you truly accept it inside can it appear outside. Chapter 14. The effort. Neville explains that the kind of effort he teaches is not physical, but mental and emotional. The effort lies in focusing your attention, holding your vision, and controlling your reactions. Many people try to change their lives through force and hard work, but neglect the most critical part, the inner work. The actual effort is to remain faithful to your desire, even when nothing outside supports it. It's about holding your inner state even when your senses tempt you to give up. This inner discipline is the real effort that brings transformation. Chapter 15. The Crown of the Mysteries. This chapter touches on a deeper spiritual understanding. Neville refers to the crown of the mysteries as the realization that your imagination is God. This is not about an outside deity, but the divine power that lives in you, the creative force behind everything. When you understand that your awareness is holy, you revere your thoughts and emotions. You realize that every mental picture you hold with feeling is a prayer and an act of creation. This realization changes how you think, speak, and live. You become more responsible, more conscious, and more loving. Chapter 16, Personal Impotence. Neville says that feeling powerless comes from forgetting who you really are. People feel weak because they rely only on their physical senses and ignore the creative power of their inner being. He reminds us that you are never powerless. When you turn within, you regain control and remember that your imagination creates reality. You don't need to wait for someone to save you or for the perfect time. Everything begins with your awareness. When you feel limited, it's just a signal to return to the truth that you are the creator of your experience. Chapter 17, All Things Are Possible. Neville opens this chapter with a powerful truth. All things are possible to the one who believes. There are no limits except the ones we place on ourselves through doubt, fear, or false beliefs. If you can imagine it and feel it as real, it can become your experience. The key is to remove the inner resistance and mental blocks that tell you it's not possible. If you believe it's hard or impossible, then it will be. But if you think it's natural and easy, it flows toward you. Your faith shapes your reality. You only need to work on your belief. Believe in your desire more than your doubts. Chapter 18, Be Ye Doers. This chapter emphasizes the importance of knowing the truth and living it. Neville warns against merely being a hearer of the word, meaning someone who knows about manifestation and inner power but doesn't apply it. A doer assumes the feeling of the wish fulfilled and practices it daily. Knowing the law is not enough, it must become part of your life. You are a doer when you consistently act as if your desire is already fulfilled. This is the secret to making the teachings real and practical. Chapter 19, Essentials. In this chapter, Neville outlines the core essentials of using the power of awareness. The first essential is to define your desire clearly. Be specific. The second is to enter the state of the fulfilled wish using your imagination and feelings. The third is to remain in that state consistently, especially during sleep and idle moments. Finally, you must trust the process without anxiety or doubt. These simple essentials, clarity, assumption, persistence, and trust, are the pillars of successful manifestation. Neville reminds us that you don't need complex rituals or techniques, just these basics practiced sincerely and consistently. Chapter 20, Righteousness. Righteousness in Neville's teachings doesn't mean moral superiority. It simply means being right in your thinking aligned with your desire, not against it. You are out of alignment when you dwell on doubts, fears, or the current situation that contradicts your desire. But when your inner world, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are in harmony with your desire, you are righteous. This inner righteousness leads to the outer expression of your goals. Neville teaches that the kingdom of heaven is within, and righteousness is the key that unlocks it. Correct thinking leads to right living. Chapter 21, Free Will. Neville offers a unique perspective on free will. He says you have free will to choose the state of consciousness you want to live in. But once you decide it, everything else follows automatically. For example, if you select the state of being wealthy, the thoughts, behaviors, and events related to that state will follow naturally. But you can't expect to choose a state and then behave in a way that contradicts it. Your real power lies in choosing and remaining faithful to a new state of being. You don't control outer events directly, you control your inner state, determining what happens next. Chapter 22, Persistence. Persistence is one of the most essential qualities in manifesting your desires. Neville emphasizes that you must assume your wish is fulfilled no matter what the outer world shows. Don't let appearances fool you. If you give up too soon, you break the process. Your consistent inner belief will harden into fact, even if it takes time. Just like a seed grows into a tree, your desires unfold. The more persistent you are, the faster and more certain the results. Make the state of your desire your home. Live in it mentally until it becomes real. Chapter 23, Case Histories. In this chapter, Neville shares real-life stories from people who successfully applied his teachings. These examples include people finding love, improving health, getting jobs, and transforming relationships. Each story follows the same pattern: clear desire, assumption of the wish fulfilled, emotional belief, and persistence. These case histories are meant to encourage you and show that the law works for everyone, regardless of background or situation. If it worked for them, it will work for you. These stories prove that imagination, faith, and feeling create real change in the world. Chapter 24, Failure. Neville addresses the topic of failure, explaining that it usually happens when people doubt, fear, or try to force things to happen. He emphasizes that failure is never final. It's just a sign that you need to go back to your imagination and correct your inner state. Most people fail because they give more attention to facts than to imagination. They let fear or past experiences guide them instead of faith. But you can always begin again. The key is not to be discouraged, but to return to the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist. As long as you believe and remain faithful, failure is temporary. Chapter 25, Faith. Faith is the foundation of all creation. Neville describes faith not as unquestioning belief, but as a deep inner knowing that what you imagine is real. Faith is seeing with the eyes of the mind, not the physical senses. It means trusting your inner world more than the outer one. True faith doesn't need outer confirmation to believe. It holds the image and feeling of success even when everything outside appears the opposite. This faith fuels your imagination and allows your desire to move from the unseen to the seen. It is the bridge between the spiritual and the physical. Chapter 26, Destiny. Neville ends the book by saying that fate or chance does not fix your destiny. Your assumptions, beliefs, and awareness create your destiny. You are not a victim. You are the author of your life. Every event, relationship, and experience you encounter is shaped by your state of consciousness. Change your awareness, and you change your destiny. This is the ultimate realization. You are the creator, not the creation. You step into your divine power when you understand this truth and begin living it. Your life becomes a reflection of your imagination. Conclusion: The Power of Awareness. Neville Goddard's The Power of Awareness is not just a book. It's a guide to awakening your inner creative power. The main message throughout is simple yet profound. Your awareness, imagination, and inner world cause everything you experience. Whatever you give attention to with feeling and faith will eventually show up in your life. Whether it's health, love, success, or peace, it all begins within. He teaches that you are a powerful creator, not a victim of circumstances. Your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings are like seeds planted in the garden of your mind. With faith and persistence, they grow into the life you live. If you want to change your life, don't fight the outside world. Go within. Assume the state you desire and live from that feeling. This is the great secret. Neville's teachings remind us that life doesn't happen to us, it happens through us. When you accept that you are the creator of your experience, you no longer wait for life to change. You change yourself, and life must follow. You begin to live with purpose, clarity, and power. So, as you close the book or finish this summary, remember that power is not somewhere outside. It is within you, right now, always has been, it always will be. Thanks for your time. See you later.